Now, from falls when putting up the Christmas lights to burning yourself on the oven trying to get out the turkey, injuries can easily happen around the Christmas season. According to ROSPA, the Royal Society for Prevention of Accidents, around 80,000 people attend A&E each year after having accidents whilst doing festive tasks. I've got so many stories about what's gone horribly wrong here. But I've also got other people who can talk about their horrible accidents as well. With me now to discuss this is my panel of the broadcaster Esther Stanhope and former Labour advisor Matthew Larser. Thank you very much for joining me on Christmas Eve. Both looking very healthy.
So, yeah, I've got to tell you, just before we go on, I haven't got sparkles, but Martin has rung in to say I've got to undo my top button. Oh. Because he doesn't like it without a tie. So that's for Martin.
Right, OK. Martin, you're a strange man. But no, that looks much more...
Well, Christmassy. Festive, relaxed.
Festive? Yes. Any case, I was fascinated by this story, right? 80,000 people going to A&E for Christmas-related accidents, right? That is 350 people each year injured by fairy lights alone.
I can imagine.
Yeah, fairy lights are kind of quite scary, especially a lot of people I think have very old fairy lights, don't they? Which have certainly not been pat-tested, as things have to be in offices, etc. now. You know, the fairy lights are kind of traditional, we've had them since our kids were little, etc. So then they don't realise that they're about 40 years out of date and that the wiring may be a bit dodgy.
I think it's about getting on a ladder, because you're going...
Yes,
reach
totally.
here, reach there, and our Christmas tree nearly fell on top of me this year, because it's extra big. I don't know why we got such a big Christmas tree. You couldn't get the fairy lights around the tree, so we had a ladder here. We all had to, like...
It's very hard. What do you put the ladder up against? Exactly.
Well, and a lot of people just pull up a chair. Let's do it that way. Well, evidently, 2.6 million people have fallen off chairs standing up to do the Christmas decor. I mean, it's like dangerous out there, people. Be careful. Those fairy lights are dangerous. Chairs are dangerous. So, I mean, what's the worst? I mean, the worst one for me is, you know, the old-fashioned glass baubles you can get?
Oh,
most of them are plastic now, aren't they?
Yes.
The old-fashioned glass baubles you used to get from Woolworths. Remember Woolworths? You've got to be old. And they'd regularly fall off the tree, mainly because we're little kids running around. Yeah. And they'd shatter. Now they're all shatterproof and health and safety. And you're running around without slippers on.
Ouch.
It is.
That's my huge fear. Yeah, that's my huge fear is actually standing on glass.
In Home Alone, he puts the Christmas decoration, the broken Christmas decorations.
Yes.
So the robbers have got no feet.
Like people put them on the top of walls outside, don't they? But glass shards. Doing it with those old-fashioned Christmas baubles is a good idea for Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, absolutely. Not so good for normal kids. So what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you two?
Well, I always burn myself on the oven every single Christmas, and I nearly always burn my tongue because I've tasted something
absolutely,
like
that's always...
There's a pig in a blanket or a bit of gravy.
Yes. Pigs in blankets are absolutely deadly because it's the molten cheese, isn't it?
Well, or the sausage.
Or the sausage, but, you know, you've got various varieties of things wrapped that you just can't get your hands off. When you need to pause, not be gluttonous, and make sure that they are of a sufficiently moderate temperature.
Yes.
Because it then spoils the rest of the Christmas day, doesn't it, when you've nicked the pigs in blanket before you've eaten anything straight off.
Yeah.
And then you've got a sore mouth for the rest of the day.
I've got to say, though, a funny story. So, you know, my daughter was born on Christmas Day, so I was in labour on Christmas Eve, and the only way that my other half could get into the hospital, Adam could only get into the hospital via A&E. And literally, he said it was the busiest, the A&E, it was Christmas Eve.
Because that's the only door that's open, isn't it, basically, on Christmas Day?
So he was running through A&E, and literally, he said people had bottles in their heads. There were people with, you know, fallen over. They were drunk. There were just drunken people singing with bits of shard stuck in their limbs.
Yeah, and especially...
as he came to the labour ward.
This week, of course, GPs are warning, you know, don't go to your GP all week. So never mind just Christmas Day itself. People need to take a bit of extra care because with the strike as well, there's going to be less coverage than usual.
This is the thing. I mean, the other big issue, really, and this is probably one that I might have under is champagne cork.
Oh!
It's the one thing I'm good at, actually. I'm the most impractical, klutzy person ever.
That's because you've had lots of practice, Matthew.
Oh.
But what, they go in your face? They go in your eye?
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah,
it's the only thing I can do. Like, I'm really like Mr. Klutz, but I'm actually very good at champagne.
What is your tip then? Right?
It's just as twist and as keep it all as low key as possible. You know, don't try and be theatrical.
Right. Okay. And do you have a tea towel over it?
I don't need to do.
Oh, that's a good idea though. Tea towel.
Yeah, because then it's
best practice. Yeah.
Going off.
But just very gentle and just keep a firm grip and very gentle.
Right. Okay. My other favourite statistic was I love this. 600,000 people have burnt themselves roasting chestnuts.
I'm amazed 600,000 people still roast chestnuts.
Well, exactly.
Yes,
That's my point. It's like,
yeah.
really? I
At
mean,
home, it's a kind of
Do
thing,
they
you
do
know.
it on the fire or in the oven?
That was the only thing. They didn't explain
Well,
it.
mate, you don't
They
see
just
roasted
told you.
chestnut sellers on the street like we did when we was young, did we?
When
But
we
it was
was
a real-
young, back in
Yeah.
back in the
1872.
But it was a real London thing, roasted chestnuts in the
Yeah,
They
they
just
still do
caramelised
them.
peanuts
Oh,
now.
yeah.
But don't roasted chestnuts explode?
Do they?
I think they do.
Oh my God!
Don't stop the chestnuts.
Stop the
Stop the
chestnuts.
chestnuts.
Stop